Hello, my name is Ruben, and I'm here making my first YouTube video that is long. The topic I want to talk about is why losing weight is the best decision that you can make. The reason why the losing weight is better than being fat is because, first of all, you're gonna feel more confident when you lose weight. Because when you are fat, when you are obese, unhealthy, out of shape, you kind of feel horrible. People start treating you horrible. You feel horrible. You feel unhealthy. You know what I mean? You feel like you cannot move. You feel sleepy all the time. Sometimes even your family bullies you because you're fat. And I used to be like 250 pounds, of course. It was like 2 years ago because back then I used to be in shape. And yeah, I let myself go because, college, other hobbies and stuff like that. But I realized that I need a change, and I started taking my cardio more seriously because I used to skip cardio for weeks. I mean, that's extreme. You know what I mean? So I gained a lot of weight. I used to eat a lot of junk food. I used to eat a lot of stuff because back then I wanted to get stronger. You know what I mean? I wanted to bench 350 pounds or even more, but I was sacrificing my health over weight. You know what I mean? And it's not ideal because you don't have to be strong in order to be healthy or look good. You know what I mean? And I used to get even people, strangers that I see outside on the mall, on the gym, and stuff like that, always say stuff that I was fat and stuff. So yeah, I needed a change, and I discovered a cardio that keeps me motivated and it's extremely fun. And I started jumping rope. You know what I mean? I started jump rope a lot, and yeah, I learned a lot of tricks. I improved my footwork and stuff like that. And I realized that I lost so much weight a lot faster than just jogging or walking, you know what I mean? And it was fun. And in my opinion, jump rope has something that not all cardios have, and that is variety. How? Yeah, I'm saying it right. There's a lot of things that you can do. You can do tricks. You can do more sets, more reps. You can do um different jump ropes and all that stuff. You never get tired. And that's something that I realized that the cardio that you do, it doesn't have to be one specific that you see on social media. It's the one that you enjoy the most. Because I went from 250 pounds to 215, I guess. Yeah, that was the last time I measured myself. And yeah, I feel proud of myself from keep doing the cardio, even though I kind of feel motivated because sometimes my ankles hurt and stuff like that, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing it because that's why I like it. And I realized that just lifting weights is not always good. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to, like, how do I say it? You have to stop like doing too much weight, like focusing on numbers and stuff. You don't have to be those people that lift thousands of weight or pounds and stuff like that. Those people are not natural, bro. Those people use steroids and stuff like that. It's not realistic for someone who's natural. You know what I mean? And that's something that I realized, and my life has been better. And yeah, I in fact I used to get a lot of injuries. I used to get a lot of headaches of lifting weight. And yeah, I just eventually stopped and I grew because I have been working out for 10 years. 10 years. You eventually get tired of it, especially you have been doing it for since 13 years old. You know what I mean? You get bored of it. And yeah, I talked to some people and they told me the reason I wasn't losing a lot of weight either was because I was doing too much dumbbells, barbells, doing too much weight, and I should focus on the cardio. And that's true because sometimes lifting weights, especially if you lift like a bodybuilder, it makes you stiff. It doesn't make you agile, or you know what I mean? Like it kind of makes you stiff. And not only that, but lifting weights don't always burn a lot of fat and calories as you might think. Of course, it is good if you're trying to keep the muscle, but after you reach your limit, your body weight limit of your genetics and stuff like that, please do not keep bulking. You're gonna get fat. Okay? Once you reach your maximum capacity, start losing weight, okay? And you're gonna feel so much better. Okay? That's something that I realized. Another thing that I realized is that sometimes you need to be consistent, okay? You sometimes need to keep working out when you don't even want to, okay? Sometimes you're gonna have those busy days, you're gonna feel so drained that you not only don't want to lift weights, but don't do anything at all, okay? You need to keep yourself consistent, okay? You need to keep doing exercise, okay? I know a lot of people who don't exercise at all and they have health problems, okay? Of course, it's not guaranteed that you're not gonna get health problems if you work out. You're gonna get them if you do dumb stuff like lifting a lot of weight on deadlift, for example. But in my opinion and from experience, I believe that sometimes you need to do any type of exercise. It doesn't have to be weightlifting. It could be like anything. It doesn't, of course, something that has worked for me, it might not work for you. But you know what I get? Sometimes I get like people who like jogging more, cycling more. Sometimes they even like other stuff. But that's my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you like, but in my opinion, I believe that you need to do some type of exercise because being fat is not easy, bro. Being fat is not easy, and you're gonna regret it. Especially, you need to start young as possible. Okay. Um, you also need to look for a coach that motivates you. Of course, you can do it by yourself, but you know what I mean. You need to get a coach sometimes. And yeah, another last thing I want to say is please don't give up. Don't give up. It doesn't matter how hard it gets, how busy it gets. Please do not stop dieting. Do not stop dieting. Do not stop working out, or just because someone else keeps you busy, like your job and stuff. Please prioritize your health at all times. Your health matters more than anything in this life, okay? Being healthy is the best thing that you can do for yourself. It's a gift. It's something that you give yourself because you love yourself, okay? So anyways, that's everything that I want to say. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.